Boom! So, good evening, everybody. It is now, 3 minutes past 9 on the 11th of April. Super exciting week ahead of us. I think it is something like I can't know. I don't know if it's week 7 or week 8 in lockdown, like I was saying before we started properly. But yeah, starting to see a few rays of light. I wasn't, as everybody else probably wasn't particularly impressed with Boris's statement last night on how we're going to move the country forward. But I am seeing common sense prevail in the majority of cases. And yeah, like I was just saying before we started there, for those people who are listening on the replay or watching on the replay, I was just saying before we started this broadcast properly, one of my favourite coffee shops, big shout out to Lily's in Urmston, is a mainstay of my kind of coffee shop experience in life, which I love so much. And they're going to start doing at least takeout from the 14th of May. So that's in 3 days' time. I don't know how they're going to get that together, social distancing wise, but little things like that. I was just saying that, we used to take for granted. I was talking to a director last night who I used to go out with to get sushi with. We really like sushi, so we'd go out and talk about projects over sushi, and it was just texting him going, God, we didn't know we were born, did we? We just didn't know we were born back in the good old days when we were actually allowed to go out. So good evening to everybody joining us live. Massive shout out to loads of people who just joined live. Caitlin, Rachel, Steve, Julie, Alicia, John Cragg's in the house. How are you doing, John? Janet, Shelley, Alex Hewitt's here as well. Yeah, it's interesting times, isn't it? I've got loads of exciting stuff going on at AtsOnThis.tv this week. I'm going to be sharing with you tonight some stuff that happened last week and also some stuff that we've got coming up this week. Got some very exciting webinars. How have people found the webinars that I've been doing so far? I can't believe how many we've done already. We've done probably 14, I think, already on AtsOnThis.tv. If you're an actor and you've not been getting involved in these, you can actually still get all of the replays. They've been so good. They've been such good fun to produce. If you go to AtsOnThis.tv, I'll show you guys on video now, but if you're listening on the audio experience, go to AtsOnThis.tv. And you'll see at the top of the site, you'll see a thing that says Preview Features. Click on Preview Features and you'll see all of the webinars we've had recently. We had Emmy-winning casting director Rachel Freck on Thursday. She was amazing. Rachel cast. She's old school legendary in terms of some of the projects that she's cast over the years. She's been in the industry like 20 odd years. She cast Ricky Gervais's The Office. Probably one of my it's got to be one of my top 3 comedies of all time. She just cast a brand new Apple TV comedy called Trying. We were just talking about basically how to get kind of on the radar of comedy casting directors. If there's anybody here who is particularly interested in comedy and you didn't join that webinar, go and get the replay. It's like 2 hours on AtsOnThis.tv. You'll need a membership to get it, but it's £4.25 a week and you'll get access to nearly 300 hours worth of stuff. We also had on Rob Collier from Downton Abbey and Ackley Bridge last week. So funny. Rob did I'll play you a clip of this in a bit actually. Rob did a pub quiz at the end of his webinar as well. It was like 3 hours in total, 2 hours and 57 minutes, but that was quality, hearing about Rob's journey into the industry. And also, ultimately, Rob's one of the most successful actors in my pool of friends, and he never went to drama school. We speak about that on the broadcast. We answer questions, from the community. You literally get to jump on camera with these people and talk to them one-to-one. But that was one of the funniest kind of, and most it's like edutainment, isn't it? It's educational but entertaining. So Rob was brilliant. We also had Lewis Arnold on the week before. He's one of the biggest directors in TV. He just cast a brand new show called Des, starring David Tennant, Jason Watkins, and Daniel Mays. We've had Stephen Graham's director on of his new film Boiling Point, and the team behind that. That's Phil Barantini. We had Phil's agent and exec producer of the film Boiling Point that Stephen stars in, along with Malachi Kirby and Azuka Hoyle, 2 other actors in the film as well. We just had loads of people. Jason Mazza was wicked. He's a great actor / producer. Like 15 of these over the last 7 or 8 weeks. We're doing 2 a week. I'll play you some clips of what you've missed tonight, and I'll show you guys who are here what's coming up this week as well, because there's some really wicked stuff that we've got coming up, particularly. Well, not even particularly if you want to work in drama, or if you want to work in serial drama, as in the soaps. I've got some fantastic webinars going this week, but let me know if you've been joining them, what you think of them. And I'm always open for feedback as well, like how do you think we can make them better? Because we're going to be doing these for a long time. I was talking to a few other casting directors today, and getting them involved, and it's brilliant the way the community's rallied, and the casting directors in the acting industry have really rallied around doing things like this. But it looks like, stuff's going to be happening like this for a long time in terms of, stuff being online. I think it'll be a while till I can get back to podcasting face to face with someone literally in this apartment with me, back in the good old days again, when you could sit with a friend and have a good time in the same room. Now you're just not allowed. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions for guests or any suggestions of how we can make them better, how I can bring you guys even more value, would be amazing. Michelle says she thinks it's great how people have given their time to speak to us on webinars. Very grateful. It is amazing. It's really, really good. Everybody's really kind of got behind just come together in the industry. I think this has brought out, in all walks of life, the best in people, also the worst in people. Some not in our industry, although you get some people in our industry who've just been whinging. Just stop moaning about shit, and just realize there's a bigger picture to what we're going through right now, as opposed to the fact that you've missed out on an acting gig. It's all right. We all have. None of us have got any work right now. We're all in the same boat. It's fine. It will get better. Dawn says they're absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Dawn. I also watched the recording you did last year with Natalie Payne. Yeah, that was a great face-to-face interview that I did with Natalie Payne. Natalie Payne, for those who don't know, is a fantastic agent. She is one of the few boutique agencies, as in someone who has, only roughly 50 clients, but is really well connected in both the UK, Europe, and in America as well. So if you want to work in Europe and in the States, or indeed if you are a European actor, maybe working in the UK, but you still want to work in Europe, where your home country, Natalie's a great agent to work with on that score. Very, very well connected around the world, but still very boutique. So it's very hands on. Not a huge agency. I think when I interviewed her, she had something like 46 clients or something like that. She was saying at the time she was getting more emails every day than her client list, as in actors approaching her for representation. She was receiving more requests through email than she actually represented. Huge shout out to those people who were on the Janet Hampson webinar we did last week as well, or the week before last. Janet has signed 4 people now from that webinar, which is amazing. So it shows you, if you get involved with this sort of stuff, then you can still make a lot of headway. Whilst you're ultimately in isolation at home, you still can do shit in your acting career from behind bars, so to speak, metaphorically, unless you are in prison. And I don't know how that would work, but I'm still sure if you've got an internet connection, you can get a membership if you're allowed. Watch some podcasts. If you are watching from prison, do let us know in the comments. I'm sure it's probably not happening. What else is going on in the comments? So Maya, good evening. How are you? Jill Penfold's in the house. How are you, Jill? Alyssa says, Ross is so good. Please get more agents on, especially after a really good turn out for some of the gang with Janet Hampson. I will, definitely. I'm going to try and get a real mix of agents as well, from agents who are just establishing and thus are actively, really actively seeking clients, as in there is a good chance of people who join the webinar, get to know the agent, and I'll bring you on camera. You've got a really good chance of making some headway because these people are actively looking. But then I want to speak to some agents, mid-tier agents, and then some of the agents from the very top, in terms of the agents who do work for United, Curtis Brown, Troika, Independent, the big agencies, because I think it's useful to bring somebody on like that, to really just give it to the community in real terms of what the chances of you signing with one of those agents are, because ultimately that is, I think it goes hand in hand with success in this industry. You end up aiming to be represented by one of those agencies because they're the agencies that can deal with actors working right at the top of the game. They're geared up for that. A lot of those agents have, everything covered in-house. So, they will represent writers and directors, as well as casting directors, as well as actors. And that obviously works very well, when everything is kind of done inside. So if you as an actor want to start, putting writing out there, and you want to be hooked up with the director, then, the literary department of one of those big agencies will look after you for the writing. They can hook you up with directors. Ultimately, they're kind of like geared up to produce stuff, in-house with the clients that they represent. So I would love to bring on an agent from one of those agencies to sort of realistically set down the expectations of what you need to do to eventually sign with one of those, so that people don't think that, that's I don't know, that it's kind of just luck that's involved if you get one of those agencies. It's not at all, unless you are very, very lucky and you plucked out of drama school because you have a certain look, or you're very marketable, I guess. Signing with one of the big agencies is something that you spend years and years and years of your career working up to. So that would be an interesting one. Bobby says, I'll give you some feedback as soon as I can stop dancing to Papa from Oliver. Don't know what that's all about, Bobby. Pub quiz every time, says Tanika on the webinars. I'll show you that. In fact, let me just play you this. For those who didn't join us for the Rob Collier webinar, here's a little bit of serious stuff, but also part of the pub quiz that he did, and the music round and me losing was particularly funny. Rob pitted me against the community basically over 3 rounds of film, TV, and music. It's just a little bit of lockdown learning and laughs, but here's a little bit of what you missed if you weren't on it. It is funny. You can watch the replay on actsonthis.tv as well. It's still there, and it will be for all members for the foreseeable future. Star of Downton Abbey, played Thomas Barrow, now has just wrapped on a brand new Netflix drama called Fate, the Winx Saga, and also fresh off the set of Ackley Bridge Season 4, just stood down, obviously, because of COVID. Mr. Rob James Collier, welcome back to actsonthis.tv. How do you prepare yourself when you might not have worked for a little bit and you're like, shit, this is a big job for Netflix, I really want it? Like, how do you get that balance between really wanting it and just backing off a bit so you're not desperate about it?
The key for me is to not look at it and go, wow, this is Netflix, I really want this. Once you do that, it's game over. You've psyched yourself out and you're putting too much pressure on yourself. It's to look at every job the same and just learn it as much as you can. Learn it speak it fast, learn it on a punch bag, learn it doing Pilates, learn it putting the washing up in the dishwasher, just stuff so you know it's all there, because you think you've learned it, but then if someone starts handing you something, an apple or something, a sandwich, and you it all goes.
So you said you had 15 months in between, was it Corrie and something?
Corrie and Downton, yeah, Downton.
Are you proactive in finding work for yourself?
I sent her a letter recorded for, signed, and that's how, about 3 months later, I'm getting asked into the room to audition for Downton Abbey in front of Jill Trevelyan.
Is any agent better than no agent?
I'd say for the most part, yes.
I'd love to be a day player on Casualty or Holby, playing a consultant.
But so why not be cheeky about it and go, a little cheeky little letter to an email to him or whatever, go, considering I'm putting my life on the line every day for the country, any chance of an audition for Casualty?
I'm at the stage where I'm on Spotlight, I've got an agent, I'm wanting my first TV role.
Ross will get you showreel to me and I'll have a look at it and I can send it in to people and say, look, can we get her a 1 or 2 lines here or there?
Look, it's time for Rob's big quiz.
I died 100 times, you go back to her and
I'll go back to black. Yes, it was Amy Winehouse.
No, incorrect. It's I go back to black.
And as you can see there, the Amy Winehouse song "Let Me Down." I thought it was "I'll Go Back to Black," and it's not. I think Rob said it was "And I Go Back to Black." So I lost the quiz. I think I lost it 10-9 to the Acts on This TV community, but I'm more than happy to lose to my own community because I feel I am part of the community. Thus, I win with you guys as well. But it was insane. It was so good. I mean, you can see on these webinars as well, man. We freaking hustle for actors in this community. I will send people show reels to people like, Rob, to pass on to people. Like I said, we've had people sign with agents on these webinars. We've had comedy casting directors discover comedy talent who they've guaranteed will get auditions in the future. These aren't just the bog standard, bullshitty little Q&As about, what makes a good actor that everybody, is putting out there. It's very, very different, right? I believe we're producing the best value stuff in this industry at Acts on This. Anyone can sign up for a Zoom account and go, I'm going to run a Zoom Q&A. But if they ain't bringing the people to the table and they've got the relationships with the people to leverage those relationships and help the community actually get further, then it's not, a great use of your time. So we hustle, man. We hustle hard to get people further in this community faster. That's what I love about everybody in it, and all you lot who are watching live and listening on the replay and stuff, is 99.9% of people in this community celebrate other people's success, and that's so freaking rare in the acting industry. It just is. I don't see it anywhere else. What I normally see is jealousy, envy, eating people up, people hoarding information to themselves, people whinging and complaining, people grabbing every single casting brief online that they don't agree with or is exploiting people. And it's pointless. It's such a useless waste of your time. I saw there's a group synonymous with this. I'll tell you another group that's really positive, and John's on it. Support British, really, really positive. That's a Twitter account, @SupportBritish. But there's another group on Facebook, and the person who runs that, I mean, my God, I'm not going to mention any names, obviously, but so negative. All they want to do is fight with people all the time, you know. And I saw a company today that apparently, as Walker's put a competition out or something to star in their advert or something like that. This person is just kicking off. Oh my God, gonna send this to Equity. Another company, putting out a job as a competition. They can do whatever they want. If I wanted to have somebody, star in an advert for Act on This, and I thought that would be fun to put it out as a competition, I'll put it out as a competition. Because it's not hurting anybody, is it? Because otherwise, I might not, that might not be a job, because I might go, well, actually, no, I'm not gonna spend money on a huge campaign to do that. So I'm not going to do it. So if you don't agree with something that's out there, you just don't have to get involved with it. You could put all of that time and energy into something positive and actually get further in your career, as opposed to moaning and whinging about everything. Trust me, there's always going to be so much wrong with this world. There is absolutely very little point about whinging and moaning about everything. What's far better is making your corner of the world far better for you being in it, and you making your dent on the universe. I put a little tweet out before that I thought was quite apt, because I'd read that and I was like, look, it's far better and you live a far happier life if you give somebody a bit of your heart as opposed to a piece of your mind. And I'll say it again, you'll be far happier and you'll live a much happier life if you give people a bit of your heart as opposed to a piece of your mind. And I just see so many actors right now, and I get it because they're stressed and then, it's a difficult time, and our industry's crushed. But just put your heart out there. Stop, not every single tweet people have to put out has to be negative and complaining. And that's what I love about the community we have here, is no one seems to do that. It's all about, putting on the optimistic pair of glasses in the morning and looking through those optimistic lenses at all of the opportunity that there is out there. And I'll just take you back 3 months, not even that, is it 2 months before lockdown, how many people were complaining without realizing the freedom of movement that they had just to go out and see people. They were taking it for granted, and they were still saying how life is shit. If you describe your life as shit, trust me, it will be shit. That's just pretty straightforward. If you describe your life as incredible and, blessed with opportunity, as opposed to saying I'm overwhelmed, change your language as well. It's rather than say, I'm so overwhelmed at the moment, you're just blessed with opportunity. You've got so much opportunity on your plate. You're just figuring out which things you want to actually continue on and which things you want to drop. Language is really, really important as well. But yeah, what I'm so proud about you guys in this community is it's just good. It just is led with optimism and hope and practicality. It's not delusion. We're not all going, oh, everything's amazing, when it's like not always like that, is it? It's not like delusional optimism. It's very practical. But it's like going, if I focus on what is right in the world and I describe my life as good, it will be good. If I focus on what is wrong in the world and I describe my life as shit, it will be shit. So yeah, that's what I have taken from the day, seeing what people have been putting out on social. What people saying in the comments, I'll play you. Do you know what I will? I'll play you a little bit of. We had Rachel Freck on, like I said, one of the biggest comedy casting directors in the industry on Thursday night. Again, the replay is available to all actonthis.tv members. If you're not a member, go and get a membership. You'll get access to that replay and every other replay of all these webinars we've been doing, plus 200 hours worth of extra stuff as well, with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, and producers. But we were talking about how you get discovered. This applies to comedy, but it could apply to anything. Drama, doesn't matter. Any kind of genre within the acting industry. And again, I just wanted Rachel to hammer home how many ways there are to actually get on a casting director's radar, or just, you know, gain an audience, get on anybody's radar, ultimately by standing out and doing stuff off your own back, creating your own material, whether that's a play, a one-man show, a one-woman show, you know, getting involved in a web series, creating your own content online, filming a self-tape and putting that out, filming a self-tape and putting all your bloopers out. That always goes down well. I've seen some fantastic self-tapes that have all gone wrong that are just so much better than like the finished take where it's actually gone right. I love watching stuff like that. So this was, Rachel just talking a little bit about how she discovers actors. So I think this is useful. But like I say, we spoke for like 2 hours. So if you want to go and watch the rest of this, you can get that on actonthis.tv after this broadcast. But here's a little bit of Rachel if you weren't on that broadcast and you've never met her before. Awesome woman. Brilliant. Love her to bits.
What would attract a casting office such as yours that specialises in comedy, like where you would go to look for your pool potentially if you are not represented by people that you already trust?
I try to go to Edinburgh, don't always manage it, but the year before last I think I went and I saw 46 shows in 6 days. Nothing was funny by the end of that, I can tell you. But it was useful because you get through a lot of people, and if I can't go to Edinburgh I will do preview shows or post shows, try and cover stuff in the office. Yeah, you're right. I do a bit rely on the kind of key main comedy agents to push people my way, that I will look at their stuff. And sometimes you hear things, if things are being reviewed. I mean, if you're doing, you know, stand-up nights or you're doing a one-woman show, you know, the amazing Bruce Dessau, for instance, who was is the comic. I think he still it writes for the Standard, but he's on Facebook, and he's often plugging new people and saying, you know, who's great and who's interesting. And so sort of opinion formers that you rate or you tune into, that's also a useful way. Other comic actors tell you about people who are good. So sometimes you might find people because you're going to see someone in a play, but actually it's the other people in the play that catch your eye and stand out. And so that might be another way of finding people. And also theatre. So, you know, I've been asked to so many, for instance, I'll give you this example. I've been asked to so many summer productions of Midsummer Night's Dream, and you think, oh, I don't know whether I take another one.
God.
But whenever I go, there's always someone in the mechanicals who's funny, who I didn't know. There's so many different ways which people can come to your attention. Other casting directors tip you off and say, in fact, I think there's somebody on here tonight who met a casting assistant who was working with me last year, who's brilliant, who had on one of these one-to-ones had met a guy who is really clever, comedically writes his own stuff and has some really fun characters, and she tipped me off about
it. Oh, Lawrence.
And it's Lawrence.
And Lawrence, I tipped Faye off about Lawrence. So Lawrence, if this blows up for you, you owe me, mate, big time, right?
Basically, it all comes back to you, Rob.
Oh, I love it. It obviously doesn't all come back to me. But yeah, that's funny. But that was Rachel talking about Lawrence Russell, member of actonthis.tv, does some great comedy sketches online. And he was putting them out and he was getting very disillusioned by saying people aren't watching them. I mean, I knew they were so good, though. They were so funny. He was like, when do I give up posting them? And the message I was always saying was just keep posting them, because it only takes one person to see them and it could change your career. And he did. And then on a webinar we did with Sophie Holland, who is, or maybe it's Faye Timby. So Sophie Holland is a casting director for The Witcher, for Netflix and other massive shows as well. And Faye Timby, her casting associate, came on a few days after Sophie on a webinar as well. And we mentioned Lawrence's sketches to Faye. Faye looked at them, thought they were great. Then obviously she retweets them, she puts them out on Twitter. Sophie sees them, and then before you know it, the whole kind of, you know, casting director fraternity online are retweeting and watching Lawrence's stuff. That's got back to Rachel Freck, who's an incredible comedy casting director. And now I guarantee you, when casting starts again for the projects that Rachel will be casting, Lawrence will get an audition 100%, because he's good, he deserves it. But yeah, that just shows you the power of putting something out online. That took just, well, ultimately I saw it, thought that's dead funny. Word of mouth, get to someone else, it gets to someone else, it gets to someone else. And before you know it, you know, careers can be changed completely overnight. So if you are producing content right now in lockdown, or whether you were before, and keep producing it. One way to lose at the content game is to focus on metrics, focus on how many people are watching your material. One way to grow on social media, one way to get more followers on social media is to stop worrying about followers. Simple as that. Just focus on content, putting out quality content on a daily basis on the 5 biggest platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And that might sound like a lot and might sound overwhelming, but you just do it. Like, you can take, this one piece of content, for example, content repurposing is really, really something that people need to get their head around. For instance, I am doing this live broadcast tonight on a Monday night. It goes out live on Facebook, and all of you guys are watching live. Across this hour, probably around about, on average, normally 800 to 1,200 people pop in. Now, they might only stay for 3 or 4 minutes. Some people will stay for the full hour. Some people might stay for 15 minutes. But across the hour, roughly 8 to 1,200 people, 800 to 1,200 people will watch this. So that, that's my reach initially from this one broadcast, okay? I am recording this broadcast right now. Okay, so as soon as this finishes, I will edit this broadcast down and I will put the replay on YouTube. So maybe, I don't know, not loads, because the YouTube channel for Acts on This doesn't get a huge amount of traction, but maybe 150 people will then watch the replay this week. The replay also stays on Facebook. So on average, up to another 1,000 people will watch the replay over the next few days. And then what I do is it's going out on Twitter as well at the same time now. Maybe, I don't know, 50 people will watch it on Twitter. It's also going out on LinkedIn, and I don't know how many people will watch it on LinkedIn. Maybe, I don't know, not that many, man, probably another 100 people or so. In fact, I wonder if I can see live how many people are watching anything on LinkedIn. I want to say, this is working. I want to give a shout out to Eugenia on LinkedIn. I am seeing comments from LinkedIn. Deo's watching on LinkedIn as well. Says, "What's up, Ross? Could you send the interview with Peter Hunt tomorrow on LinkedIn?" Because I can't send it on LinkedIn, Deo. It will be on actonthis.tv though, mate. It'll be in your members area, so you will be able to watch the replay in the members area if you can't make it live. Because I'm going to show you, I've got a great webinar coming up tomorrow with Peter Hunt from Hollyoaks, the leading casting director for Hollyoaks, and the onset acting coach at Hollyoaks, David Crowley, as well. Merce is watching on Twitter as well. What is the topic here? All things acting, Merce. That is the topic. Oh, that's good then. So I'm getting comments from LinkedIn and Twitter. So there you go. So people are watching on LinkedIn, people are watching on Twitter. And like I say, the recording then will stay on LinkedIn, will stay on Twitter, and will stay on Facebook. I will put the recording on YouTube. Then what I do is I tear the audio out of this broadcast and I publish that as a podcast that goes out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud as well. So another 4 platforms where people can go and listen to the audio. So from me putting in 1 hour of content, effectively 1 hour of work tonight, and then maybe another hour post-production for editing that and getting it up on different platforms, the potential reach there is probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. From one piece of content. So if you're like, it's really difficult to publish on all of these platforms, it's not. Just produce one quality piece of content and then edit that so that it's contextual for the other platforms. So that means, you might have to edit bits down, shorten bits, just take a clip from here or there. Maybe you take 60 seconds of something that you've done and you put that on an Instagram post. You might take 3 minutes of something and put it as an Instagram TV post. But ultimately, create as much content as you can, and don't worry about how many people are watching it. As long as you're enjoying it, you're enjoying producing it, and you're doing it consistently. It just takes that one person to see it, to pass it on to someone else, who passes it on to someone else, and before you know it, something incredible can happen in your life. 1 is always better than 0, and if you operate from a place like that, you'll win. If you operate from a place like, I'm useless unless I've got 50,000 followers, then you're going to lose, and you're going to lose really, really quickly. You've got to put in the hours if you're going to get anywhere. It's like training for anything. Your acting career, it'd be like me rocking up. So if people want to start a web series, they want to start, a new social media account or something in their career, and you're expecting just to go from 0 to thousands of people watching your stuff straight away, that's the equivalent of me right now rocking up to the UFC and going, right, I'll fight the champion, having done no training whatsoever, having been at the gym a few times, and that's literally it. I haven't studied the craft, I've not tried stuff, I've not experimented, I've not worked on strategy. I've never fought before. I'm going to get my backside kicked, and you will get your ass kicked in the social media landscape if you are naive enough to think that by just putting out content, people should automatically watch it. But you should put content out, otherwise no one's going to watch it because there's nothing to watch. So you've got to just keep going, basically. What people say in the comments, absolutely. Did I make these comments on another Facebook page? Don't know, Linda, to be honest. Not sure. This is going out on quite a few different Facebook pages tonight. Chris Pan. What are you saying, Chris? Wow, Ross, holy schmolesley. What about the content? Yeah, but you just got, honestly, you can produce one piece of content and you can repurpose it for so many, different platforms, as long as you understand the platform. You can't make one piece of content that's going to be universal. I couldn't upload the full replay, for instance, to Instagram. It's too long. I wouldn't do that anyway, because people don't generally watch an hour's broadcast on Instagram. You've got to know the platforms, but you don't have to create a separate piece of content entirely for each platform. If you know what I mean, you can repurpose a lot of stuff. You could even pay somebody. There's a company called Rev.com. So say, for instance, you did a 10-minute Instagram live video documenting your rehearsal as an actor, and you thought there were some really useful bits in there that would help other actors. And you have a vlog, for instance. You could pay, I think it's dirt cheap. I don't know, it's like $1 per, 100 words or something like that, transcription at Rev.com. So you could basically give Rev.com your video, and then somebody would transcribe your video, all of your words, everything you're saying, into a document, send it you back, and there you've got a blog post. You can put that on your blog, and it's accessible then as well. It means people who are deaf can read it. It means that your content can hit more people. As opposed to people, not if you're deaf, and you've just produced a piece of audio, obviously, it's not going to be any good. If your video isn't clear enough for people to lip read or something like that, then you can produce the written word as well, so people can read it. People can listen to audio only. People can watch the replay. People can watch snippets here, there, and everywhere. That's how you win. Just getting your stuff out, and you become omnipresent, as in like you're seen to be everywhere. Saba says, working on my own content now. Ross, you've given me a kick to just do it. Honestly, just freaking do it. Go live. Do a broadcast. Go on Instagram. If you're doing a web series from isolation, get on Instagram tomorrow with another member of the cast and do a little Instagram live or a Facebook live together. The tools are there and they're free. I'm broadcasting this ultimately to potentially an unlimited number of people, and it's not costing me. Well, it's costing me a little bit because I'm splitting the feed, so it's going out to Twitter at the same time as Facebook, at the same time as LinkedIn as well. There's a piece of software that enables me to do that, but it's not expensive. You're talking a few dollars a month for services that allow you to distribute your stuff all over the place. So start creating. Talking about creating, we're going to be creating some soap stars tomorrow night. If you've ever, whose dream has it been to become a regular on a soap? Hollyoaks, Coronation Street, EastEnders, Emmerdale, Casualty, Holby. Let me know, because tomorrow night I'm running a live webinar with Peter Hunt, the head of Hollyoaks casting. Doesn't just cast Hollyoaks, casts for Lime Pictures, who are the company behind Hollyoaks. Casts lots of stuff for Lime. And he's bringing with him David Crowley, who is the on-set acting coach at Hollyoaks that gets the regulars. Ultimately gets the regulars through those massive scenes, coaches them through the big scenes on Hollyoaks that will win them National Television Awards and Soap Awards. And Hollyoaks do freaking brilliantly at the NTAs and the British Soap Awards. They've been voted the British best soap in 2019 in the awards just gone. They always come away with some incredible awards, and that's because the talent is good, but David is also a big part of that. He gets the actors into those, emotional, helps them access those emotional states ultimately to give their best performance. And and he also coaches actors through the screen test process as well. When a new regular is coming into the show and maybe you're down to the last 2 or 3 and it's down to screen test time, David is the guy who will take you through your screen test. So we've got Peter, head of casting, and David, on-set coach, and the guy who will be in charge of your screen test if you ever get a screen test for a regular at Hollyoaks. Let me know if that is something that you would like to get at some point. I would love to be in a soap, says Linda. Esther says me. Caitlin says, I've always wanted to be in Emmerdale. It's a guilty pleasure. Let's have a look. Sam says, yep. Gone for EastEnders a few times. Well, hopefully next time, Sam. Julie says, yes. Corrie for me, says John. Chris says, yeah. Still Corrie for me, says Steve. Steve had his Corrie debut earlier this year. Hopefully you'll get back on that at some point, Steve. Corrie for Julie. Hollyoaks needs more Scousers, says Alicia. Coincidentally, she is a Scouser. And it's filmed in Liverpool this year, so it's probably only filmed around the corner from you. I love Hollyoaks. Missed it tonight, though, says Shelley. Want to be fat Brenda and Corrie? We've never seen her, says Michelle. Amazing. It's everybody. It looks like Rihanna as well, Tanika. Everybody's in Soapville. I think it'd be an incredible experience. God, I don't think there's a better training ground than, acting in 5 episodes of something a week. The turnaround is just phenomenal. Here's a little trailer inviting you guys to what's going on tomorrow night. So you've got to be a member of actonthis.tv to get access to these. You join us live. You can jump on camera. But if you ain't got a membership, get a membership, man, because we're doing loads of these, 2 a week. I've got 2 this week. This is the first one. I'll talk about the second one we're doing on Thursday night in a minute. But here's Peter and David, if you've never met these guys before. Actors, yes, I am back yet again with another invite to another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar taking place on Tuesday, the 12th of May at 7:30 p.m. with these 2 amazing chaps here. We've got Head of Hollyoaks Casting back in the house, Mr. Peter Hunt, and this time he's brought with him Hollyoaks on-set acting coach, creative director of Act Up North, and also independent filmmaker, Mr. David Crowley. Fellas, welcome back. Well, welcome to the first time, David. What we're going to be talking about on Tuesday night?
Right, well, we're going to be talking all things casting and all those questions the burning questions that people always have, but hopefully we'll be focusing a bit more to the future, which is what we all need right now, and what that's going to look like for auditions, self-tapes, and the industry as a whole.
Nice. David?
Well, my job at Hollyoaks is the on-set acting coach, so you can ask me any questions that you want about working with regulars, and if you get those jobs yourself, the sort of approaches that you can use when you are thinking about scripted work. And also, I prepare them for screen tests as well, so you can ask any questions that you want about the screen test process, and I'll be happy to field those for you.
Nice. We're basically going to help you nail your castings if we ever get out of lockdown. If you want to join us literally on camera, live on the evening, you want to put your acting career questions to these guys on the night, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live to find out how you can get involved and to get details of all future webinars for actonthis.tv as well. Little bit of pressure for you here, chaps. 5 seconds each on why actors don't want to miss this.
You don't want to miss this because if you tune in, you never know, you might just learn something about the casting process and working on a TV set.
Peter, no pressure.
Okay, well, why don't we have a glass of wine and have some real honest talk and no fluffiness?
Nice. Honest talk. actonthis.tv/live. That's right. It's going to be a super honest, cut through the bullshit chat with these gentlemen. But yeah, no, it'll be a really, really cool chat. You will get a chance to jump online, hang out with us they're normally an hour and a half, but well, actually some of them have been up to 3 hours. If we keep the people talking, we can probably get 2 hours out of Peter and David. But yeah, you can jump on camera. You'll get an opportunity to do that and put your acting career questions to these guys. Anything that's going to help you get further in your acting career faster. And as Peter was saying on there, we're going to be talking about the future. The soaps, without a doubt, are going to be the first people back to production. When COVID-19, when stuff kind of gets lifted a bit, the lockdown gets eased even further, because they can actually reflect what's happening in real life in their soaps. That's what they do. So it means that if they have to put social distancing into storylines in order to be able to film them, they can do that. Whereas a TV drama, for instance, that will have been stood down, that maybe was partway through filming, can't do that. You suddenly can't start filming and go, right, why are they all stood 2 meters apart? But in a soap, if you're in Corrie or Hollyoaks or whatever, that is representative of real life and is set, at the same in the same real time as life. When it's Christmas in real life, it's Christmas on the soaps. When it's COVID-19 in real life, there's COVID-19 on the soaps. So they will be the first people back. So we're going to be talking about how that might happen. It's still unclear. And also, self-tapes, everything is obviously done via self-tapes. It has been going that way for a long time, but now it is more than ever. Self-tapes are more and more and more important. So any questions you have about getting set up with self-tapes, and ultimately how, Peter finds new talent, how he seeks out those actors for those regular roles, for the lead parts, what is required of you if you are going to be given the opportunity to be seen for one of those lead parts, and when you get one, what that is like, ultimately what the screen test process is like. It'll just really help you get prepared if ever, that is a something that comes along, in your career, which if it's what you're aiming for, It should do at some point. I really hope it does for you. So, yeah, you can join us if you want to get involved at onthis.tv/live if you've not got your membership already. And you will find a join link for that in your members area. So you can access that straight away on Tuesday, tomorrow night. As I record this, it will be tomorrow night. If you listen on the audio experience, that's happening on the 12th of April. No, it's not. It's May, isn't it? I've been saying it's April. I said it was April before. Could have been in lockdown. 12th of May. Tomorrow night. So yeah, hopefully you've not missed that. I'm going to put this replay out literally as soon as I've finished like live tonight. Bring the Pinot, says Nicoletta. Yeah, everyone can jump on, have a glass of wine, have a good time. Definitely, it's nice and relaxed. It's like a little family. When we have got like a proper family kind of feel to these now, where it's the same group of actors. There's about 150, 200 of us on occasion who jump on these broadcasts and just have a great time. Really, really good. Someone was asking before, Alicia was asking about why people on the calls that I'm doing are wearing earphones, and is that for a reason? Yeah, when you're doing any kind of online calls, the software, regardless of what it is, it's across the board, this happens. There's something called a noise gate, basically. So say, for instance, you all jump on and there's 20 of you on screen at once. What the software does to stop all of the background noise from affecting everybody, it will kind of cancel out your audio unless it hits a certain volume. It's called a noise gate. Anything below this number of decibels will be cancelled out. Anything above it will be will be heard. So what you'll find is the beginning and ends of people's words are cut off on a lot of these conferencing programs because it hears you talking and then activates the microphone for you. So you'll find, particularly when people are talking over each other, you just can't understand the first or the last part of what they said, particularly the first bit. One way to get over that is to use headphones so that it means that your computer's not picking up anything from its speakers. So if I was speaking, that would come out of your speakers. Your microphone might pick up my voice, so it stops that kind of echoey kind of what's the word? It's not reverb. It's just kind of like a bit of feedback. Ultimately, it stops that from happening, and then it also means what you can do is you can turn off that noise gate in a lot of software. It will let you turn off that auto audio kind of volume stuff that it does, so that you're just hearing a nice clean signal from either the microphone on people's headphones, which happens a lot of the time, or at least you're not getting that feedback from their speakers. So it just means the audio is better. I could have explained that a lot quicker by just saying, actually, listen, it just makes the audio clearer. So yeah, anyone doing conference calls, if you can wear earphones, you will find you have a much better experience, basically. That's a good little tip. All right, Lynn. Lynn's in the house. Says she's sorry she's late to the party, but it's all right, Lynn. You're here. That's the main thing. Janet's here as well. What else is going down in the comments? Anything that I need to answer? If not, I'm going to show you what's happening on Thursday night. I asked the community who else they wanted me to get on for a live webinar, and loads of people asked for Seth Mason. Seth is, without a doubt, going to be one of the biggest casting directors without a doubt in this industry. He's currently Victor Jenkins and Andy Brierley. Andy Brierley. I always say Brierley because I went to school with someone who was called Andrew. I'm sure his name was Brierley. Little Andrew. It was years ago. But yeah, Brierley. They have something called, between them, they run the Casting Office Limited. You can start following them on Instagram. They just set an Instagram page up recently. They cast massive stuff. They just cast Des, ITV's upcoming drama with David Tennant, Daniel Mays and Jason Watkins. They did Dark Money. That was another drama that I did a podcast on with Victor, the casting director, and Lewis Arnold. Jill Halfpenny as well was in that podcast. They cast the biggest drama in the country, some massive, massive shows. They've just cast something called Leonardo, starring Aidan Turner out of Poldark. They've got some big dramas that on the way. The Spanish Princess for Stars in the States. Big stuff. But Seth is their casting associate, ultimately their right-hand man. Will soon be a casting director in his own right. I've seen this guy's career flourish over the years. I think he's ready now. I don't know him too well, bar having a conversation with him the other day, and he agreed to do a live webinar with us this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Again, for all members. If you're not a member, get a membership. It's dirt cheap, guys. These work out like something crazy, like £1.53p. Do you know what's funny? Seeing people like talk about, not having money to invest in stuff right now, and I get that, right? For some people, that's really very, very, very real. But I understand that when you look at 17 quid a month for an Acts on This membership, you go, okay, £17 a month, right? That's like 4 coffees from Starbucks or Costa, okay, like a coffee a week ultimately. That's how I price the model. And I understand right now for some people that's really difficult, you know, because we've all had loads of shitloads of work cancelled. But for that, I'm giving you guys 8 90-minute webinars. 8, right? 8 90-minute webinars. Okay, they work out if you get a yearly membership at £1.53 each, right? Right now, I get it, it's wartime, right? We're not in peacetime at the moment where everything's good because of coronavirus. We're in wartime. But in peacetime, stuff like this that was held in real life could set you back 40, 50 quid. If it was a workshop environment where you maybe get to, you know, perform one scene, it might be 65 to £100. It's a £1.53. And the amount of people I've seen get some Zoom software and then decide they're going to set up something like this, and they do a one-off Q&A, and that Q&A is 15 to 20 quid. I'm like, I'll give you 8 for that. So yeah, in terms of value, I can't give you any more value than this. 8 for 17 quid. It's a freaking bargain. But here is Seth telling you about his webinar this Thursday night. It's one you do not want to miss. Actors, these keep on coming. I am back once again with another invite for you lot to another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar taking place on Thursday, the 14th of May at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing guy here from the casting office, Victor Jenkins and Andy Brierley's casting associate, Mr. Seth Mason. Seth, thanks so much for being here. I'm just looking at your IMDb, mate. You've been working over the years on some incredible TV shows, casting stuff like Humans, Silent Witness, The Split, Cleaning Up, starring Sheridan Smith, upcoming David Tennant drama Des, upcoming drama Leonardo, starring Poldark's Aidan Turner. I mean, where does it end? What else have you been working on? And what do you want to talk about on Thursday?
Well, we were finishing Spanish Princess Series 2 for Starz, which luckily just got in there and finished before Miss Rona hit, and yeah, a couple of other bits, a show called Viewpoint that we were working on up in your neck of the woods that hopefully we can pick up ASAP.
Nice.
As for Thursday, sort of anything and everything casting really, just hopefully some kind of fun facts about the process and maybe demystifying it a little bit, and yeah, let's take it from there really.
Nice. You lot are going to be able to get involved with this as well. You're going to be able to jump on camera, literally one-to-one, have a chat with Seth. Anything you need help with in your acting career, get your questions in on the night. You're going to be able to, like I say, chat one-to-one, anything you need to take your career further, faster. Get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live for full details of how you can get involved with this webinar and loads of webinars I've got coming up as well. And to end, Seth, bit of pressure, but I always do it on these. Why don't actors want to miss this?
Because hopefully we'll have a very kind of open, fun conversation about everything, trade notes at this kind of weird time. And I mean, we've got to do something until the pub's open again. So
absolutely. Whilst you're not in the pub, you might as well be here. actonthis.tv/live. Indeed. None of us will be in the pub for a long time. I don't even go to the pub anyway. But yeah, Seth, honestly, awesome guy. I was talking to Victor Jenkins on Instagram today because I'm going to get him to do, hopefully with Andy, to do a webinar with us a few weeks from now. Obviously, they're from the same office. Don't want to overshadow anything, Seth does or says with his webinar by, bringing Victor and Andy on like really quickly afterwards, in the next week or so. But down the line, sometime in late June, early July, I'm going to try and get Victor and Andy on. Would love to talk to those two. Victor's been so freaking supportive as well. He's a casting director who's just amazing in terms of the value he gives back to the industry. He must have done 4 broadcasts and podcasts with me over the years for actonthis.tv. So massive shout out to Victor. I've never met Andy. He seems like a top guy though on social media. But I've never been seen for anything by Andy, and I've never met him. So if anybody has, let me know. But I'm sure Victor wouldn't work with anybody who wasn't a top bloke. So I'm sure he's a really good guy. Can't wait to hopefully get them both on for a webinar down the line as well. But that's Seth. Seth's such a top bloke. Real positive guy, force for good, hungry in the industry, hungry to discover new talent. You will get a chance, like I say, to jump on camera, chat to Seth. I'm going to try and bring on as many people on camera as possible. Again, I try and bring on people who everyone who haven't been on camera before. I will try and get through as many people as possible. And we're going to be doing these for a while. So you're going to get a chance every single week for the foreseeable, because I can't see us getting out of lockdown for quite some time. But that's going to be Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Again, if you want to join that, actonthis.tv/live for full details. Grab your membership and you'll find links to join that in your members area, along with recordings of 300 hours worth of other stuff with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers and producers in the industry. So that is this week. I've not got anybody lined up for next week yet. Kind of running out of guests. I'm like, oh my God, I've booked 16 in the last sort of 8 weeks. I need to start like raiding my diary again and going, shit, who have I not spoke to in a while, to get more people on. But I will always do my best. And like I say, if you've got any suggestions for people, please shout up and let me know, because it will. I mean, realistically, this is just honesty. It will get to the point where I am like, holy shit, we've kind of exhausted the main casting directors in TV right now. We're going to be looking for maybe other people within the industry to bring on. So we'll need suggestions. Maybe in another month or so, we'll be like, right, okay, we really need to start thinking about who people really want to hear from. Because we have had on some of the biggest casting directors in drama and comedy, some great agents. I'll bring on more agents. I know people want more agents. I will definitely look at doing that very soon. But yeah, I will need your help. Ultimately, I'm going to need your help if you know great people as well. You know what I mean? Like, great. They've got to be special, working on great stuff that's going to, that people in the community will want to hear from. Not just your mate who you want to give a bit of exposure to. And I get that. I would do the same thing. I think there's a place for that as well. And I will definitely, what I'm going to try and do on Monday nights on these broadcasts as well? I'm going to start bringing on some people who might not be the guests that we get on actonthis.tv, as in, we get the biggest names in the industry on there, and it's not undermining anyone who isn't a big name, so to speak. But there is a certain level that I have to keep on actonthis.tv for members, because you're paying for that content. So I have to, sounds awful, doesn't it really? But you do have to go, right, at what level is this individual and what can they teach the community? It's ultimately about what value they can bring to you guys. And I want to bring people on who can give you as much as possible. But people who might be on our level, so to speak, in terms of still working towards greatness, and we're all great in our own way right now, but, working towards, success in this industry. I'm going to start bringing people on a Monday night, and we'll start bringing them on these kind of broadcasts. So everyone just gets access to that. And if, you need help promoting something, you've got something to share, but you might not have won a BAFTA yet. Certainly that is not what this industry is all about, but it means I can bring people and give people exposure on these Monday nights as well, because I want to do that. And maybe even doing where we bring on maybe just 3 members of Acts on This, me and 3 other people, and we have like a round table discussion on a Monday night here on Facebook. Let me know if you'd be up for that. And I'll just choose members at random and go, right, tonight we're going to have Steve, Dave and Jim. I don't know who Dave and Jim is. I know we've got a Steve here. But yeah, and we'll just, and not just all lads, obviously, Steve, Dave and Sandra. And we'll bring, you lot on a Monday night broadcast, and we'll just chat, and other people can get involved, with the chat on Facebook and stuff. And maybe we just talk about our careers as opposed to talking to somebody who has, in inverted commas, made it, that might be an interesting way to go as well. Doing that on a Monday night could be pretty cool. Definitely says Rachel. Karen Henthorne says Michelle. Yeah, Karen's decent. Karen's really good. I've seen a lot of Karen's stuff over the years. Let's have a look. That would be great, says Adam. I'll be up for that, says Saba. Sounds great. I can get Dave and Jim. Don't worry, says Steve. Yeah, excellent. I think so. I think it's really valuable to hear from actors, doing it, and the process, sort of chasing it, going after it, being proactive and taking the bull by the horns, but maybe, they're not at the pinnacle yet. And I would certainly class myself as that. God, I've not done anywhere near what I want to do in this industry, but talking about the journey is really, really educational to people in the same place as us. It's not something I doubt people would pay to access, so it's probably not something for actonthis.tv, but it's definitely something for the community and Facebook. And we do once a month we do a community call, don't we? On the first Saturday of every month, members of actonthis.tv get to jump on a massive Zoom call where we can all be there and people can get involved with the chat. But maybe we start doing things like that a little bit more. I love it, man. I don't think there's you can't get too much of that. Whilst I'm just basically stuck here on my own, I'm so lonely. I've just got no one to call my own. Then it's good, isn't it? I think, maybe we should do some more community stuff. For sure. So let me know what you think of that. Right, what else is going on? What is it? It's bloody hell, it's nearly 10 o'clock already. This goes super, super fast. So yeah, that's what's coming up this week, basically. Tomorrow night, please join us for the webinar with Peter and David. It's going to be great. The webinar with Seth on Thursday will be awesome, I promise you. If you've missed any of these webinars, the recordings are all on atsonthis.tv. Get yourself over to atsonthis.tv/live if you want to. I'll show you actually. Just click the purple banner at the top of the page and it'll take you straight to the oh no, it won't. That takes me to the members area where the live links are. How do I get out? Let me get back to the homepage. When you're on the homepage, this takes you to the webinar schedule, which is here. So you can read a little bit about what's coming up. There's the Hollyoaks one, and there's the Q&A with Seth. You can also see what other stuff is on the website. Some wicked stuff, man. Honestly, we've got some incredible content on here. Interviews, real in-depth interviews with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, Oscar winners, as Rachel Shenton with her Oscar, Natalie Payne, the agent we were talking about before, fantastic agent, great podcast with her, Andy Pryor, Doctor Who casting director with his casting associate Reed McDade Wren. There's Peter Hunt, he's coming on tomorrow night, but that was Peter with me for a podcast we recorded again when you could sit in the same room as each other just before Christmas, I think that was, because we've got a Christmas Costa Cup on the table there. There's some testimonials from people who've been become members and having a great time. Alison says, Ads on This were a big part in me having the confidence to contact casting directors, feel worthy in the audition room, and land a TV job worth almost 20 years of membership. I pay monthly, so I bought a car, took my son to Legoland, and still have access to all that great content. You know what I mean? When you join Ads on This, and then it helps you land a job that's worth 20 years, your membership. I mean, freaking hell. Enough said. I'm not going to try and convince anybody. If you don't want to be involved with that, then maybe it's not for you. But I do appreciate everybody who it is for. So do come and get involved if you want to join the family. Because it is a real family, proper community we have here, and everybody gets really well looked after and looks after each other. So it is, like I said before, just a positive place, which right now we all have a responsibility to each other to make positivity louder. Because there's a shitload of negativity out there that everybody loves to make loud. Honestly, just have a look. I'll end on this and then I'll let you guys go. But just have a look at your Twitter feed, right? And people notoriously slag off Twitter for being negative, right? But have a look at your feed, go down it and see how much negativity is there. And if there is a shitload, it's your fault. You're following the wrong people. Unfollow all of those negative comments. I've done it today. There was a couple of people who I followed because they were actors. Sounds horrible. Because they were actors and they, at one point, were members of Ads on This. They're not now. Because I guess the positivity we exude does not align with their mindset. But they were really negative. I get it, right? Boris Johnson has not put out a clear message yesterday. 100%, right? Without a doubt. I could not agree more, right? I was pretty dismayed with the whole handling of the last few weeks, to be honest with you. But I've got an option every single day. I can wake up and I can understand and realise that I can only control to the end of my fingertips. That's all I can do. I can't control what comes out of Boris Johnson's mouth. I have no control over it at all. And what I can do is I can choose to take control of my own life, because I'm way more in control of my own life than I probably used to give myself credit for, and you guys might be in that same situation as well. You are 100% in control of your life, whether you believe it or not, and you believe that right now you're not in control of it and you're dictated to by Boris Johnson. If he says go back to work and it's not safe to go back to work, you don't have to go, right? Regardless, nobody does, and there's no employer in the land, I don't think, unless they're a total knobhead, that would expect you to. Everybody's nervous, so you are ultimately in control. It's not about what someone else is saying. A lot of people want to use this situation right now as an excuse not to do. Oh, I can't. The amount of times I have heard people, this is a good one, the amount of times I've had conversation with people recently and they have said, oh, but I was so geared up, I was just ready to smash it, and then we got locked down. No, you weren't. You weren't at all. You're using that as an excuse. You're going, oh, phew, I can let myself off now. I'll just say that I was all geared up and I was ready. You weren't, because if you were really geared up and ready to smash it, you can still smash it now. There's so much you can still be doing right now. You are in control. And if all you're seeing on social media is negativity, just mute those people or unfollow them. You don't even have to unfollow people on most social media platforms. You can just mute them a little bit. You can click on the 3 dots on the post or on Twitter, the little downwards arrow, and you can mute that person. So they don't know you've unfollowed them. You just don't see their status updates for a bit. And when this is all over, you can unmute them if you want, if they're normally positive. But use this time to audit what's going in here, in between, what you're listening to, what are going in through your eyes, what going through your ears, and who you're communicating with, and just fill your head with positive messages, because otherwise right now, God, like, you're just going to be destroyed with negativity. But it is your choice ultimately. At the end of the day, you are responsible and in control. And on that, I will let you go and be in control and create some amazing stuff for yourself. Or if you don't want to create right now, just chill out, look after yourselves, relax, but just don't take in all the negativity. To me, because I'm actually quite good with it, to be fair, mostly positive or nonsensical. Yeah, some nonsensical's fine. You know, you get some stuff that's just absolutely crazy on social media. They're just funny, and you go, yeah, you know, I can deal with that. But it's just the negative Nancy's that just do my head in. Sometimes I want to shake people and just be like, just stop complaining. Like, it's just a losing mindset. It's such losing DNA you are, you know, putting out in the world when all you're doing is complaining about how you wish it was. You have to play with how it is and work towards making it how you would like it to be. If you complain about how it is right now and how you wish it was, you will just lose in all areas of your life. So there you go. Thanks for watching. And also, yeah, just to go as well, have you seen how my quiff is now off the screen? That was the one thing I said at the start, a little bit of information I heard yesterday that upset me a little bit, was going no haircuts until the 4th of July at the earliest. How are people dealing with this? If you don't live with a hairdresser, I mean, what can I possibly do about this? I don't even have a clue. Bar shaving my head off. I mean, not my actual head off. That'd be a bit ridiculous. Shaving all of my hair off, which I wouldn't suit. I wouldn't suit that at all. The only other thing I could do is wear a hat. I've got a cap. I could probably just wear a cap, but I'll show you on the next broadcast. I don't suit caps either. I don't think I'd suit a shaved head, and I don't suit a cap. So all I have is a massive quiff that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and my hair's getting very unruly on the sides, all around here and stuff. I don't know what to do. 4th of July, that's weeks away. I don't know if I'll be able to, like, fitted. I won't be able to get through the door. The quiff will be that high. Let me know if you've got any hacks for stopping your hair from growing, but only temporarily. I'm receding a bit on the sides. I don't want to lose any more of that. No way. Doing number 5 trim, says Shelley. Don't know about that, Shelley, to be honest. Scares me a lot. You should have one of the webinars as a live shave off. That sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? And tonight, welcome everybody. So we're doing a live communal shave off. Are you ready to shave it all off? Yeah. Don't know about that. Steve said I should get a flat cap. Maybe I should get a flat cap, definitely. And build things that look like Tintin. Yeah, I do look a little bit like Tintin or Johnny Bravo. He's got big hair, hasn't he, as well? People used to call me that. Right, I'm out. What are you saying, Jay? Jay's lovely. He says I would leave it, Ross. Your hair brings out your beautiful smile. Not at the moment. As I'm gluing in every day, this tooth down the bottom here, that was the one that fell out. Not the tooth fell out, the crown on it came off. Eating soup. Whose crown comes off when they're eating soup? What an idiot. I just clanged my teeth together. 2 weeks into lockdown, bang. No dentist in the world wants to see me right now. I'm gluing it in every day with Denture Fix. I don't even know if it's going to be in a good state to put back on after all this. Lockdown problems, guys, but it's all right. Together, we will get through this. Right, thanks so much for being here, everybody. Chris wants to get a robot barber. I don't know if they exist. I want to see you tomorrow night. And please, it would mean the world if you spread the word. If you're a member of actonthis.tv, please do not forget you have access to your affiliate links in your members area, right? If you go to your members area, log in, click on members area. I want to help you earn some money in lockdown. Go to the red premium affiliate scheme section of your site. And in here, sign up for an affiliate account if you've not got one. And if you've got one, you will get a link, okay? And your link, if you share it with people sensibly and responsibly online without spamming the shit out of people, because that's not allowed. But if you see somebody on Twitter who's like, oh, I'm really getting nowhere in my acting career, and you're like, wait a minute, Act On This can help you. Send them a direct message with your link. Tell them, though. Say, listen, I'm part of this community. It's really helping me. Here's my special link. If you click this, just for transparency, I will get a kickback. I'll get a little bit of commission, but I just wanted to let you know about this anyway. But if you do join or you ever join, would really appreciate if you join through my link. You will get 25% of their commission, their membership fee every month or every year. So you'll get £4.25p every single month, continuing forever as long as they're a member. Right? And it doesn't take long to build these up. People in this community are building up, 10, 12, 15 members now who are paying every month, and they're getting 10, 12 lots of £4.25. And that shit adds up, particularly in lockdown when we all need some money. So I want to help you earn some money in lockdown. So you get access to the affiliate scheme if you're a member. Share it. So if you think, actually, you know what? Dave, who I know, would love to be on Hollyoaks. I'm going to let him know about the webinar tomorrow night. Give Dave your link. Don't just presume he's going to click your link, because they've got to click your link, right? Be transparent with them. That's one. I'm an affiliate of lots of other sites and schemes across lots of different industries. One thing I have learned is don't just send someone a message and say, oh, you should sign up to this, and just give them your link, because they might not sign up through your link. You might look at it through your link on their laptop, but then tomorrow they might go on their phone and sign up through their phone, and you're not going to get paid out that commission, because it just doesn't work like that. They have to click through your link. It's all an automated process. That's just part of the rules. And 1 in 5, it just happens where I'll be like, oh, finally they've signed up, and I look on my account and they didn't go through my link. There's nothing you can do about that. Sites are too busy to be going, oh, I'll take your word for it. And now there's just no way to do it. There's no way to automatically set it up. If people don't go through your link, it's out of my control. So just say, listen, if you click my link and you go through my link, I'd be massively appreciative, because, I'm going to get a bit of a kickback there. This isn't the reason I'm giving you, advice to sign up for the site. I genuinely think it's really valuable. And you will start earning money. So please utilize that. That's something that I implemented the first week of lockdown after we all shit our pants, because we heard, I lost $5,000 that week. On a voiceover job I'd already recorded and was going to get paid out on for usage. It was a holiday advert, though, that they went, we're not going to play it now, and it's gone. So I know it's like to lose money, man. I was banking on that cash, and I was like, right, I need to help other people earn some money, and I need also to help get members into Acts on this. So it's win-win in it for both of us. But please use your affiliate links, earn some money. It adds up significantly. If you bring in 2 members a month, or even, God, you could do a member a week easily if you were tactical, and it's not about spamming. You'll get banned from the scheme if you spam groups and you just put your affiliate link everywhere, because that does damage and reputation to the website's URL in terms of the actual actonthis.tv. Google will hurt me if people start spamming the shit out of places with their links. But if you use them responsibly and genuinely to help people, and you go out of your way to explain to somebody why they're going to benefit, you will get results. Honestly, people are getting lots of sign-ups. Jason, one of the lads in the community, has signed about 12 people up in the last couple of weeks, because he's genuinely trying to help people. So it does work, guys. Please utilize that, and hopefully we can get you some cash, through this as well, so that you are earning extra. Definitely. Right, I will love you and leave you. People are saying, who's Gary Vee? Gary Vee is a business mentor. He's an incredible guy who does a lot of online business, and just puts out a lot of positive content, free positive content. He owns a company called VaynerMedia, who are a social media marketing agency, one of the biggest in the world. He's very not Brooklyn, he's very Jersey, New Jersey, New York style, very sweary, quite brash and loud. And so initially you might be like, who is this guy? He's a bit too much for me. But when you get over that, he's just he's a guy with an incredible heart, very kind, empathetic, and just loves helping people. So if you want to create an online business, particularly through social media, he's a guy who is really useful to follow. I listen to a lot and watch a lot of his stuff. Big shout out to Gary V. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to leave you with the trailer again for the Hollyoaks webinar tomorrow night. actonthis.tv/live if you want to join. If I can do anything for you, please reach out. If you're listening on the audio experience, thank you so much for being here. Please join us for a live webinar soon, or one of these Monday night live broadcasts on Facebook. It's facebook.com/actonthisTV. Come and join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/actonthisTV. Spread the word about actonthisTV. It's all about actonthisTV. Until tomorrow, guys, for those who are joining me, lots of love to you all. Stay safe. Bye for now. Actors, yes, I am back yet again with another invite to another incredible actonthisTV live webinar taking place on Tuesday, the 12th of May at 7:30 p.m. with these two amazing chaps here. We've got Head of Hollyoaks Casting back in the house, Mr. Peter Hunt, and this time he's brought with him Hollyoaks on-set acting coach, creative director of Act Up North, and also independent filmmaker, Mr. David Crowley. Fellas, welcome back. Well, welcome to the first time, David. What are we going to be talking about on Tuesday night?
Right, well, we're going to be talking all things casting and all those questions the burning questions that people always have, but hopefully we'll be focusing a bit more to the future, which is what we all need right now, and what that's going to look like for auditions, self-tapes, and the industry as a whole.
Nice. David?
Well, my job at Hollyoaks is the on-set acting coach, so you can ask me any questions that you want about working with regulars, and if you get those jobs yourself, the sort of approaches that you can use when you are thinking about scripted work. And also I prepare them for screen tests as well, so you can ask any questions that you want about the screen test process, and I'll be happy to field those for you.
Nice. We're basically going to help you nail your castings if we ever get out of lockdown. If you want to join us literally on camera, live on the evening, you want to put your acting career questions to these guys on the night, get yourself over to actonthisTV/live to find out how you can get involved and to get details of all future webinars for actonthisTV as well. Little bit of pressure for you here, chaps. 5 seconds each on why actors don't want to miss this.
You don't want to miss this because if you tune in, you never know, you might just learn something about the casting process and working on a TV set.
Peter, no pressure.
Okay, well, why don't we have a glass of wine and have some real honest talk and no fluffiness?
Nice. Honest talk. actonthisTV/live.